Welcome to the Bible Quiz and Trivia channel. Today, we're putting your scripture knowledge to the test with some tough questions spanning from famous biblical figures to pivotal events. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and like this video to support our content. After the quiz, share your score in the comments. We love seeing how well you do. Are you ready? Let's get started. Question 1. What was the name of the tower where God confused the language of the whole world? A. Tower of Siloam. B. Tower of David. C. Tower of Babel. D. Tower of Zion. Answer. C. Tower of Babel. Explanation. The Tower of Babel is mentioned in Genesis 11:1-9. It was constructed by the descendants of Noah, who intended to make a name for themselves by building a city and a tower tall enough to reach heaven. God responded by confusing their language, resulting in the people being scattered across the earth. Question 2. Who was the first apostle to be martyred? A. John. B. Peter. C. James. D. Andrew. Answer. C. James. Explanation. Acts 12:1-2 records the martyrdom of James, the brother of John. King Herod had James executed by the sword in an effort to appease the Jews. Question 3. What type of wood was used to build the Ark of the Covenant? A. Gopher wood. B. Cedar wood. C. Acacia wood. D. Olive wood. Answer. C. Acacia wood. Explanation. Exodus 25:10 instructs that the Ark of the Covenant be made of acacia wood. This wood was chosen for its durability and resistance to decay, symbolizing the eternal nature of God's covenant with Israel. Question 4. Name the river where Jesus was baptized by John the Baptist. A. Euphrates. B. Tigris. C. Nile. D. Jordan. Answer. D. Jordan. Explanation. Matthew 3:13-17 describes Jesus' baptism by John the Baptist in the Jordan River. This event marked the beginning of Jesus' public ministry and was significant as the Holy Spirit descended upon him in the form of a dove. Question 5. Who are the two individuals in the Bible who did not die because God took them? A. Moses and Elijah. B. Enoch and Elijah. C. Enoch and Moses. D. Abraham and Isaac. Answer. B. Enoch and Elijah. Explanation. Genesis 5:24 states that Enoch walked with God. Then he was no more, because God took him away. Similarly, 2 Kings 2:11 recounts how Elijah was taken up to heaven in a whirlwind. Both individuals did not experience death, as they were directly taken by God. Question 6. What was the new name given to Jacob after he wrestled with the angel? A. Israel. B. Isaac. C. Isaiah. D. Ishmael. Answer. A. Israel. Explanation. Genesis 32:28 records that after Jacob wrestled with the angel, God said, "Your name will no longer be Jacob, but Israel, because you have struggled with God and with humans and have overcome." Question 7. What is the shortest book in the Old Testament? A. Micah. B. Obadiah. C. Jonah. D. Nahum. Answer. B. Obadiah. Explanation. Obadiah, with just one chapter consisting of 21 verses, is the shortest book in the Old Testament. It addresses the pride of Edom and foretells its destruction. Question 8. In the parable of the Good Samaritan, who are the first 2 individuals to pass by the wounded man? A. A priest and a Levite. B. A Samaritan and a priest. C. A Levite and a tax collector. D. A Pharisee and a scribe. Answer: A. A priest and a Levite. Explanation: Luke 10:31-32 describes how both a priest and a Levite saw the injured man but chose to pass by on the other side, leaving him unaided. Question 9. What was the sign that Gideon asked God to provide with the fleece? A. Fleece wet with dew, ground dry. B. Fleece dry, ground wet with dew. C. Fleece burned by fire. D. Fleece covered in snow. Answer: A. Fleece wet with dew, ground dry. B. Fleece dry, ground wet with dew. Explanation: Judges 6:36-40 recounts how Gideon tested God with fleece. First, he asked for the fleece to be wet with dew while the ground was dry, and then for the fleece to be dry while the ground was wet, as a sign from God to reassure him of victory over the Midianites. Question 10. How many plagues did God send on Egypt? A. 7. B. 10. C. 12. D. 15. Answer: B. 10. Explanation: Exodus 7-12 details the 10 plagues that God inflicted upon Egypt to compel Pharaoh to release the Israelites from slavery. These range from turning water into blood to the death of the firstborns. Question 11. What was the specific diet Daniel requested instead of the king's food? A. Only water. B. Bread and water. C. Vegetables and water. D. Fruits and nuts. Answer: C. Vegetables and water. Explanation: Daniel 1:12-15 describes how Daniel asked to be given only vegetables to eat and water to drink instead of the royal food and wine, to prove that it would not defile them. Question 12. Which prophet was swallowed by a great fish? A. Jonah. B. Micah. C. Nahum. D. Hosea. Answer: A. Jonah. Explanation: Jonah 1:17 narrates that Jonah was swallowed by a great fish, where he remained for 3 days and 3 nights as a consequence of running from God's command. Question 13. What are the names of the 3 men who refused to worship Nebuchadnezzar's image and were thrown into the fiery furnace? A. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. B. Daniel, Hananiah, and Mishael. C. Belteshazzar, Azariah, and Abednego. D. Shadrach, Hananiah, and Azariah. Answer: A. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Explanation: Daniel 3 recounts the faith of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who refused to bow down to King Nebuchadnezzar's golden statue. They were thrown into a blazing furnace, but were saved by God's intervention. Question 14. Who cut off the ear of the high priest's servant, Malchus, during Jesus' arrest? A. Peter. B. John. C. Judas. D. Thomas. Answer: A. Peter. Explanation: John 18:10 reports that Peter drew his sword and cut off the ear of the high priest's servant, Malchus, in a misguided attempt to protect Jesus during his arrest in the Garden of Gethsemane. Question 15. What are the fruits of the Spirit listed in the book of Galatians? A. Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. B. Compassion, mercy, grace, wisdom, strength, hope, love, joy, peace. C. Faith, hope, charity, fortitude, justice, temperance, prudence. D. Humility, charity, fidelity, temperance, patience, kindness, diligence. Answer: A. Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. Explanation: Galatians 5:22-23 lists the fruits of the Spirit, which include love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. These attributes reflect the nature of a life led by the Spirit. Here are the multiple choice questions for Bible questions 16 through 30, with detailed answers and explanations. Question 16. How many judges ruled Israel before the establishment of the monarchy? A. 10, B. 12, C. 15, D. 16. Answer: B. 12. Explanation: The book of Judges mentions 12 leaders who ruled over Israel before the establishment of the monarchy, starting with Othniel and ending with Samson. These judges were charismatic leaders who delivered Israel from its enemies. Question 17. What was Paul's occupation? A. Carpenter, B. Fisherman, C. Tent maker, D. Scribe. Answer: C. Tent maker. Explanation: Acts 18:3 states that Paul worked as a tent maker along with Aquila and Priscilla. This was his trade, which he used to support himself during his missionary journeys. Question 18. Who wrote the Book of Lamentations? A. Moses, B. David, C. Jeremiah, D. Isaiah. Answer: C. Jeremiah. Explanation: Tradition holds that the prophet Jeremiah wrote Lamentations, reflecting the sorrow and lament over the destruction of Jerusalem and the temple by the Babylonians in 586 BAC. Question 19. What are the Beatitudes? A. Laws given to Moses, B. Parables told by Jesus, C. Blessings listed by Jesus in the Sermon on the Mount, D. Prayers taught by Jesus. Answer: C. Blessings listed by Jesus in the Sermon on the Mount. Explanation: The Beatitudes are found in Matthew 5:3-12 during the Sermon on the Mount. They include blessings for the poor in spirit, those who mourn, the meek, and others who exhibit Christ-like qualities. Question 20. Which book of the Bible ends with a curse? A. Revelation, B. Malachi, C. Judges, D. Genesis. Answer: B. Malachi. Explanation: Malachi ends with a warning in 4-6, stating that God will send the prophet Elijah before the great and dreadful day of the Lord, and he will turn the hearts of the parents to their children and vice versa to prevent the land from being struck with a curse. Question 21. Who was king of Judah when Babylon destroyed Jerusalem in 586 BC? A. Hezekiah, B. Josiah, C. Zedekiah, D. Jehoiakim. Answer: C. Zedekiah. Explanation: Zedekiah was the last king of Judah before the Babylonians destroyed Jerusalem and the temple. His reign ended in tragedy and the captivity of the Jews as recorded in 2 Kings 25. Question 22. What was the name of Moses' Cushite wife? A. Zipporah, B. Miriam, C. Deborah, D. Hagar. Answer: A. Zipporah. Explanation: While Zipporah is often mentioned as Moses' Midianite wife, Numbers 12:1 also refers to her as a Cushite, indicating she came from the region south of Ethiopia. Question 23. Who was the first musician mentioned in the Bible? A. Jubal, B. David. C. Asaph. D. Solomon. Answer A. Jubal. Explanation. Genesis 4:21 names Jubal as the father of all who play the harp and flute. He is the first recorded musician in the Bible. Question 24. In the Song of Solomon, what unique title is given to Solomon? A. The wisest king. B. The shepherd. C. The lover. D. The beloved. Answer D. The beloved. Explanation. In the Song of Solomon, Solomon is often referred to as the beloved and his bride as the Shulamite, reflecting the intimate and poetic nature of the book. Question 25. What does the name Emmanuel mean? A. God with us. B. God saves. C. God is my judge. D. God is mighty. Answer A. God with us. Explanation. Matthew 1:23 interprets Emmanuel as God with us, referring to Jesus' birth as the fulfillment of prophecy and his divine presence among humanity. Question 26. What was the main message of the prophet Hosea? A. The destruction of Israel. B. The love of God for his unfaithful people. C. The coming Messiah. D. The law of Moses. Answer B. The love of God for his unfaithful people. Explanation. Hosea uses his own marital experiences as a symbol to describe God's relationship with Israel. Despite Israel's unfaithfulness, Hosea portrays God's enduring love and willingness to forgive. Question 27. Which New Testament book has no mention of the word God? A. Acts. B. James. C. Esther. D. 2 John. Answer C. Esther. Explanation. Esther, although in the Old Testament, is notable for not mentioning God explicitly, yet it demonstrates his providential care through the deliverance of the Jewish people. Question 28. Who replaced Judas Iscariot among the 12 apostles? A. Matthias. B. Barnabas. C. Silas. D. Timothy. Answer A. Matthias. Explanation. Acts 1:26 records that Matthias was chosen by lot to replace Judas Iscariot as the 12th apostle after Judas' betrayal and death. Question 29. In the book of Acts, who was the first European convert to Christianity? A. Lydia. B. Cornelius. C. Timothy. D. Stephanus. Answer A. Lydia. Explanation. Acts 16:14-15 describes Lydia, a seller of purple from the city of Thyatira, as the first European convert. She and her household were baptized by Paul in Philippi. Question 30. What is the sin of Balaam referred to in the New Testament? A. Idolatry. B. Greed. C. False prophecy. D. Betrayal. Answer B. Greed. Explanation. The sin of Balaam is referenced in 2 Peter 2:15 and Jude 1:11. It refers to Balaam's error of attempting to profit from his prophetic gifts, leading him to act against God's will.